Your grandfather retired at 62. He had a pension that paid him 80% of his salary for the rest of his life. He didn't worry about the stock market. He didn't lose sleep wondering if his money would last. He just retired and lived comfortably until he passed away at 84. You're being told to work until 67, maybe 70. You're told to gamble your future in the stock market. And if you just save 15% of your income for 40 years, maybe, just maybe, you'll have enough to survive. Here's the part nobody tells you. The system was deliberately changed. Your grandfather's retirement was a promise. Yours is a bet, and the odds are rigged against you. Before we go deeper, drop a comment. What age do you realistically think you'll be able to retire? And if you want to understand why retirement became impossible for most people, hit that subscribe button. Because what I'm about to show you will change how you see your entire financial future. Let me take you back to 1960. Your grandfather gets a job at General Motors, or the local steel mill. His starting salary wasn't huge, maybe $5,000 a year. But what came with that job was a pension. It was simple. Worked for the company for 30 years, and when you retire, you get a guaranteed monthly payment for life, usually 50 to 80% of your final salary. No stock market risk, no investment decisions. The company promised to pay you, and they did. This wasn't just for executives. Factory workers, truck drivers, secretaries, teachers, pensions were standard. By 1980, more than 40% of private sector workers in America had one. And it wasn't just the pension. Your grandfather also had Social Security that actually worked. In 1960, there were over 5 workers paying into Social Security for every 1 retiree. The system was flush with money. Benefits were generous. Your grandfather could retire at 62, collect his pension, collect Social Security, and live comfortably. He owned his house, which he bought for $15,000 and paid off in 15 years. His healthcare was covered by Medicare. He wasn't rich, but he was secure, and that security wasn't luck. It was the system working as designed. A deal that said, work hard, and we'll take care of you when you're old. Then, quietly, the deal was broken. It started in the 1980s. Corporations looked at their balance sheets and saw a problem. Pensions were expensive. Really expensive. General Motors, at its peak, had more retirees than active workers. They were paying out billions in pension benefits every year. So, corporations started doing something clever. They began offering workers a choice: keep your pension, or switch to this new thing called a 401k. And here's a bonus if you switch right now. The 401k was sold as freedom. You control your own retirement. We'll even match your contributions up to 3%. It sounded like empowerment. But here's what it actually was: a massive transfer of risk. Under a pension, the company bears all the risk. If the stock market crashes, that's their problem. You still get paid. Under the 401k, you bear all the risk. Market crashes right before you retire. You're wiped out. You live longer than expected. You might run out of money. It's much cheaper for companies. Instead of promising you 60% of your salary for life, they just match 3% while you work. When you leave, their obligation ends. By 2020, only 15% of private sector workers had a traditional pension. The greatest retirement system in modern history was dismantled in about 30 years. Now let's talk about why the 401k is a bad deal for most people. It was never designed to be the primary retirement system. It was supposed to be a supplement. Instead, it became the entire system, and it's failing. Financial advisors say you need 10 to 12 times your final salary saved. If you make $60,000 a year, you need at least $600,000. Only about 14% of people reach retirement with $500,000 or more. The rest have far less. Why? Because saving is incredibly hard when you're living paycheck to paycheck, dealing with medical emergencies and student loans. Your grandfather didn't have to be a financial genius. He just worked, and the system took care of him. You have to be an investor, an economist, a financial planner, and lucky, all at the same time. For 40 years straight. But wait, you're thinking, I'll have Social Security, right? Sure, if it still exists in its current form. Remember that ratio: 5 workers to 1 retiree in 1960. Today it's 2.8 to 1, and heading toward 2 to 1. The math just doesn't work anymore. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2034. When that happens, the system can only pay out what it takes in, which is about 77% of promised benefits. And we haven't even talked about healthcare. This is where retirement planning goes from difficult to nearly impossible. Even with Medicare, the average 65-year-old couple retiring today will need around $315,000 saved just for healthcare costs. That's not including long-term care like a nursing home, which can cost $100,000 a year. These costs are rising faster than inflation. Your retirement savings might grow at 5%, but healthcare inflation is closer to 6%. You're losing ground every year. This is why elderly people are working as Walmart greeters, not for fun, for survival. So why did this happen? The simple answer: it was expensive, and corporations didn't want to pay for it anymore. They prioritized short-term profits over long-term obligations. Wall Street demanded higher returns, and pensions were in the way. So they shifted the burden from corporations to individuals, from guaranteed benefits to market risk, from security to uncertainty. And the really insidious part, they convinced you it was good for you. They called it empowerment, freedom. But it was a cost-cutting measure that transferred trillions in risk from corporate balance sheets to your personal retirement account. The executives who made these decisions, they kept their pensions. The politicians who allowed it, they kept theirs. The financial industry profiting from your 401k fees. They're getting rich. Everyone won, except you. So what does this mean for your future? Let's be brutally honest. You will work longer than your grandparents. The retirement age will keep creeping up. You will have less financial security. One bad market crash at the wrong time can destroy decades of savings, and you will face impossible choices: healthcare or food, help your kids or save for yourself. This isn't your fault. You're not failing because you're bad with money. You're struggling because the system was changed, and nobody told you until it was too late. But understanding the problem is the first step to protecting yourself. You are on your own. That's not pessimism, it's realism. The company won't save you. The government probably can't fully save you. You have to save yourself. So, start now. Compound interest is the only magic you have. Aim to save more than the standard 15%. Try for 20% or 25% if you possibly can. Plan as if Social Security won't be there. And most importantly, take care of your health. Your health is your wealth in retirement. Your grandfather retired with dignity because the system was designed for it. You have to fight for retirement because the system was redesigned to value profits over people. They lied to you, but now you know, and knowing is power. Once you see the system clearly, you can make better decisions within it. You can't change the rules of the game overnight, but you can play it smarter. If this opened your eyes, subscribe to the channel, because understanding how the system really works is the only way to survive it. The retirement lie has been exposed. Now it's time to build your own security in a world that won't provide it for you. Thanks for watching.